Every summer, Rare pulls out all the stops for Sea of Thieves. The end of Year 1 brought us Tall Tales, fishing, and an entire new game mode. In Year 2 we got expanded progression with the Emissaries and the Reaper's Bones, and last year we saw Disney and Rare's crossover with Pirates of the Caribbean. And although Season 7 was delayed, it still fits into this summer time frame. And it's here with a bang. As the fantastic E3 trailer showed us, you can finally be a captain in a game about pirates. Jokes aside, there's a boatload of new features to go over, so if you enjoy this video, why not subscribe? It really helps out. Now, onto the review. It all starts on the main menu, and I always love when Rare changes these up. Fittingly, this time it takes place inside the captain's cabin of a ship, with plenty of Easter eggs to the ongoing story. We can also see a new sort of building outside, but we'll get to that shortly. If you hadn't guessed, this update is themed all around Captaincy. This feature has been envisioned and talked about amongst the Sea of Thieves community for years, and it's finally here. It can be somewhat of a difficult concept to explain, but I'll try to make it simple. Essentially, it centers around the idea of naming your ship and making it your own. This sounds very basic at first, but becoming a captain is so much more than just some words on a nameplate. Rare has done a great job turning what could be a simple feature into its entire own progression system, with perks and much to strive for. Veterans of the sea like myself have been looking for a grind for a while now, and I'll get more into this later. You can buy your ships through the new page found on the front end menu. While I expected ships to cost a lot more, each ship is priced so that it will take some new players a good while before owning a ship. You also get this awesome tutorial by the Pirate Lord himself when you first log into your captain's ship. I won't spoil this, but I love what Rare has done here. It feels like a proper sequel to the maiden voyage, taking place far after our pirates have made it into this pirate paradise. The music here is astounding, and I really hope for new systems like this that Rare goes the extra mile to teach players about these mechanics. With the amount of players in this game absolutely clueless about most of the stuff going on, I think we're better off with a few more tutorials to keep new players playing. A major facet of Captaincy comes in making your ship your own. This is expressed through a ton of new customization options through our ships. Much of the inside, the name crest, banners, and ship's log can be changed. I'm quite happy with all the changes we can make to our cabins, even if most of these cosmetics are reskins. I'm sure in the future we'll see more unique rugs and drapes, but this is a good start. Not only can we give plenty of interior ship parts a makeover, but the ship right now sells plenty of trinkets to place around your ships. These are best showcased on the galleon, but the sloop and brig still have a surprising amount of options. These trinkets are a feature I've wanted for years. They naturally tell the stories of your crew and your adventures, while also giving your ships much more life and personality. They even get nudged out of place in big battles or a storm. I'm very happy with these. Adding to their personalities, ships also have custom banners that appear when you board them, or view them through a spyglass. This can really add to the notoriety of a ship and its crew, and I bet we'll see plenty of people recognized through sight alone. I can't wait to see all the awesome and unique ships that pirates create on the seas. On the topic of telling stories, every captain's ship is equipped with a ship's log. You can find it on the voyage table, and it acts very similar to a tall tale book. I've wanted a feature like this for so long, and while I am satisfied with what we do have, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't expecting a bit more. I imagined it would actively update as you went about your adventures, but instead it's more like a small showcase of some stats of your crew and your ship. The version I proposed would probably be a nightmare to program, but what we got is still a very cool addition. Captain's Voyages attempt to refresh the voyages in Sea of Thieves, to mixed opinions. I like that we can store up to 100 on our ship. I like that we get plenty of strange mercenary voyages to fool around with. But the faction voyages are barely any different than the normal ones. I feel this development time could have been spent on something else. It won't be our go-to activity, there are plenty of better ways to grind for loot. Still, a nice perk for captains. Now onto the most divisive part of this update, milestones. Captaincy comes with its own form of progression, tracking many of the activities your pirate and ships partake in this world. For years, commendations and trading companies have been the main ways we progress in this game, but with milestones, many activities we've been ignoring are now back on the menu. I was pretty pissed thinking about redoing old content again, but after some thought, I'm quite happy about this. Unlike nearly every update we've seen until now, this update won't be finished in the first week of playtime. Not only is the UI such a step up from what we've had before, but by offering new rewards, old content like generic skull forts don't seem so bad anymore. I'm quite excited with the idea of leveling up different ships for different activities. However, I do have some gripes. I feel some milestones should be retroactive with commendations. It's a bit ridiculous to ask players who have spent hundreds of hours of fishing to do it all over again. And some of the milestone requirements are absurd. However, this is quite a new system and I'm sure it will improve a lot over time. Similar to Seasons, it looks like Rare is adding more and more ways to make the players feel rewarded. Above all else, I'm just happy to have plenty of goals to grind for again. That's likely the best part about this update. The perks of Captaincy don't stop there though. A new conglomerate has arrived on the Sea of Thieves, the Sovereigns, assisting captains in unloading treasure. I've seen a lot of discourse around this feature, but personally I'm a big fan. Selling loot is undeniably the worst, most tedious part of this game, and as the game has grown, so has the amount of loot you get per session. It has gotten to the point where I will actively avoid picking up most treasure because I just do not care about selling it. But by creating such an easy way to offload loot, as well as tangible goals to spend our gold on, it re-incentivizes the whole point of the grind. Their designs are also straight up incredible. I love their pompous attitudes. Very different from a lot of the characters we have in-game. Great quality of life addition, great form of player progression, and they have plenty of lore to delve into, so stay tuned to my channel for that. For an update based entirely on some quotes that are nearly half a decade old, I think Rare knocked it out of the park with Captaincy. Not every feature is a home run, but the sheer amount of things to love in this update are staggering. Not only is the grind back on, but it's potentially the most meaningful progression system we've seen yet. It may also be the biggest roleplay update yet, which is a huge appeal of this game for me. This is a foundational update I feel the game has been missing for quite some time, and I just can't wait to see how future updates innovate on this. Now that Captaincy is here, I genuinely have no idea where the game goes next, and while we still can't sail out of that waterfall, something tells me that's not too far off either. Like the video if you did, it really helps out, and hey, why not subscribe? Whether it's lore, new adventures, or a great heist, I'll always keep you up to date on all things Sea of Thieves. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the seas.